It was our senior year, and we were looking for one last adventure before graduation. That's how I, along with my friends Jake, Lisa, and Matt, found ourselves standing in front of the infamous Ridgewood Asylum. Abandoned for decades, the asylum loomed before us, its windows shattered and ivy creeping up its crumbling walls. Local legends spoke of the horrors that happened within, but we brushed them off as just that, legends. Armed with flashlights and a sense of invincibility, we pried open a side door and stepped into the darkness. The air inside was cold and heavy with the scent of decay. Our footsteps echoed through the empty hallways, and the floorboards creaked ominously under our weight. "This place gives me the creeps," Lisa whispered, her voice trembling. "Relax, it's just an old building," Jake said, trying to sound braver than he felt. We moved deeper into the asylum, our flashlights casting eerie shadows on the walls. Graffiti and remnants of old hospital equipment littered the rooms. As we passed what once must have been the main office, a chill ran down my spine. It felt like we were being watched. "Guys, let's check out the basement," Matt suggested, pointing to a rusty staircase descending into the darkness. I hesitated, but the others were already heading down. The basement was even colder, and the air felt thicker, almost suffocating. Our flashlights revealed rows of old cells, their metal bars rusting and walls covered in strange, unreadable markings. "Look at this," Lisa said, her voice barely above a whisper. She pointed to a journal lying on the floor, its pages yellowed and brittle. Jake picked it up and started reading aloud. The journal belonged to a former patient, detailing horrific experiments and the cruel treatments inflicted upon them. The last entry spoke of a riot, patients escaping their cells and exacting vengeance on the doctors and nurses. A sudden bang echoed through the basement, making us all jump. "What was that?" Matt asked, his voice shaky. We spun around, our flashlights darting through the darkness. A shadow moved at the far end of the hallway. My heart pounded in my chest as we cautiously approached. The shadow disappeared into a room, and we followed, curiosity overpowering our fear. Inside, we found an old operating theater. The sight of rusty surgical tools and stained tables made my stomach turn. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind us, trapping us inside. Panic set in as we pounded on the door, but it wouldn't budge. "We need to find another way out," Jake said, trying to keep calm. As we searched the room, the temperature dropped even further. Our breath fogged in the cold air. That's when we heard it, a soft, anguished wailing. It grew louder, echoing off the walls, filling the room with a sense of despair. A figure materialized before us, translucent and glowing faintly. It was a woman in a hospital gown, her face twisted in agony. She reached out to us, her eyes pleading. "Help me," she whispered, her voice filled with sorrow. Fear paralyzed us, but Lisa stepped forward. "What happened to you?" she asked gently. The ghostly woman's story spilled out in broken fragments. She had been a patient here, subjected to brutal experiments. During the riot, she tried to escape, but was caught and killed by one of the doctors. Her spirit had been trapped here ever since, unable to find peace. "We have to help her," Lisa said, turning to us. "How?" Matt asked, his face pale. The ghost pointed to a hidden door behind a curtain. Inside, we found a hidden room filled with old records. Among them, we discovered a file detailing the doctor's crimes and a map showing a hidden burial ground where he had disposed of his victims. We followed the map to a small courtyard outside the asylum. Digging in the spot marked on the map, we unearthed a shallow grave filled with bones. Saying a silent prayer, we reburied the bones with more care and respect, hoping to bring some peace to the tormented spirits. As we finished, a soft glow surrounded us, and the ghostly woman appeared once more. This time, her expression was one of gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered before fading away. We left Ridgewood Asylum in silence, the weight of what we had experienced heavy on our minds. The adventure we had sought turned into a night of terror, but we had also found a way to help a lost soul find peace. The asylum still stands, a monument to the horrors of the past, but we will never forget the ghostly encounter that changed our lives forever.